Triple G. Brace yourself for the things you'll see. From comic books to toys and more. And all cartoons that we adore. Pop culture, flicks and geeky stuff. We love it all and can't get enough. So settle in and enjoy the show. Please hit like and subscribe before you go.
How's it hanging, YouTube? We are back with, I think this is my favorite show, one of my favorite shows that we do now, guys. The Year in Review. I really enjoy it. Anyway, we are back with another one of our shows where we're going to be taking a closer look at 1982 this time. I think from memory, I'm old, good old Fuzzy of the Dunlop picked 1982, and holy night, what a year it is. The stuff we're going to talk about tonight, guys, is pretty impressive. Anyway, before we get to that, how are you? How are you, James?
Excellent. Happy to be here, as always.
Good stuff. And Efren?
I have got to up my intro game. That's all I gotta say, Peter. Your video, man, I was like, dang, I gotta go back to Canva and rethink things, but I'm doing well. So
Yeah, sang at myself. True story.
Voice
True
of an
story.
angel. Yeah.
Voice of an angel. Yeah, I didn't sing it myself, obviously. But yeah, never mind. Anyway, chaps, we've got tons to get through tonight. Let's jump to the chat before we start. We have got Terry, Deadman. Nice to see you, Terry. Hope you are well. Terry has put out a banging video today all about Detective Comics, so please do check that out. Really enjoying his videos at the moment, so please check that out. We've got Bat Dan. Nice to see you, Bat Dan. Hope you are well, bud. And we've got Fuzzy of the Dunlop, the man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour. The housewife's pick. He does the trick. It's Keegas.
Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Yeah, nice. I like it. It's like that. I'm going to mention it later on, but I do just have to say that Deadman, Batman, and Fuzzy have all joined my channel. So thank you so much for that, guys. We're going to mention it later on, but I do truly appreciate it. Like I say, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We've got Leon. Nice to see you, Leon. You're right, mate. 82 is a cracking year. In fact, there's so much I've had to really cut out some of the stuff we're going to talk about, so we might even come back and revisit it. We've got Chris Bell joining him on a live. Nice to see you, Chris. G-Spot gang info. I still can't find it. I've never found it, mate.
Do you think that'll catch on?
You know what? When I was setting up my membership, I literally was going to call it the G-Spot. And I thought, no, I can't do that. I can't. Fuzzy saying, yes, it was Fuzzy with the first that came up with 1982. Good stuff, bud. We've got Anton. Nice to see you, Anton. Hope you're doing well. We've got SM. Nice to see you. Happy belated Valentine's Day, and the same to you. I hope you had a lovely time. Deadman is saying, cheers, Pierre. Not Deadman, what's that image of you? That's
I noticed it when you pulled the first one up. I thought it was Wild Things for a second.
that's Xena.
I'm not sure.
That's Xena, I think. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Nice.
Oh, it is.
Fuzzy saying, don't worry, Chris, G-Spot's overrated. Okay. Aussie AC, good day. Nice to see you, bud. Right, chaps, we're going to crack straight on because we've got tons to talk about tonight. 1982, this was a phenomenal year. As ever, if you've not watched this channel or this show before, we're going to cover movies, comic books, games, TV, toys, and a little bit of food trivia from the year that we're talking about, which is 1982. And we're going to start off with movies, gentlemen. Before I show you some of the slides I've picked, any movies jump to mind of this year?
E.T. must be the biggest movie that year, I would think. Yeah.
Elliot. Actually, yeah, just amazing. Yeah, so we've got good old E.T. I'm presuming you've both seen E.T.
No, definitely.
So I don't think I've sat entirely through it in one sitting. Over the years, I have seen the whole movie in pieces, but I don't think I've actually sat and watched it start to finish, like one go.
James.
Yeah,
How can you not have seen E.T.?
I don't know. Nowadays, I just watch things to review them. I don't have time for... All my cinema trips are horror movies now or Marvel. So, I just haven't got around to it.
God, the man's a fraud. A fraud.
This is probably the biggest one. This is the biggest, you've never seen movie.
I mean,
a few of them.
This is like a... Yeah, I can't.
Never seen the Goonies either.
Oh, why is he on the show with us again?
Just never seen the
I bet Hydra Collectibles has seen E.T. and the Goonies. We should get him on next.
Swap him out then, I dare you.
Yeah, we'll swap you out. Swap you out. Terry saying it is Ina. Okay, very nice, very nice. We've got Wayne. Nice to see you, Wayne. I hope you are well. And Chris, I've been alive for the first time in ages. A few minutes in, and James is just
That's what I do. That's my thing.
terrible.
Yeah.
But this is E.T. This is a Steven Spielberg classic. At the time of release in '82, it had a budget of 10.5 million. Any idea how much it made in the box office?
Oh, something stupid like unadjusted for inflation, I would say in the 600, 700 million probably.
Yeah, 797 million. For a long time, it was the highest grossing movie of all times. Just a phenomenal film. I can't believe you haven't seen it, James.
I know I have seen it, but like in chunks. Like you catch the second half on TV or you watch the first half on TV.
Yeah,
I've seen the whole movie, just never in one sitting, like start to finish.
I mean, it was always a Christmas movie. It was always kind of shown in the holiday period over here, and I still remember just the devastation of horrible, pasty, white-skinned, a bit like you, James. E.T. when he kind of dies, and it's just awful. But a lovely, cheerful film. But it is an amazing movie. Efren, you've seen E.T.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I can't believe it came out in 1982, such a long time ago, but I loved that movie when it first came out. I was like, gosh, what a great movie. They did like a little sequel to it about a couple years ago, like a commercial.
Yeah.
So back. Yes, and that was pretty good too. Yeah.
Anton is saying I have the book. The sequel is called E.T. and the Green Planet. Yep. There was a good follow-on book. E.T. is probably the first film that made me cry. Yeah, I remember it being devastating, Fuzzy. To be honest, it was a rough movie as a kid to watch. Guys, bit of trivia for you. There was going to be a sequel to this, and they had it planned. Any idea what that was going to be about? Have you heard anything about the sequel?
Never.
No.
So Spielberg binned it. Spielberg said it takes nothing away. Sorry, it would gain nothing and it would take everything away from the original movie. So the movie was going to be the original kids get kidnapped by aliens, random, and then phone E.T. to come and rescue them when they're in space or something like that. I mean, sounds cack. Sounds cack. ETC, that's right.
I do love that the ET species exist in the Star Wars universe in Phantom Menace.
Oh, yeah.
You see them in the Senate. So I'm like, we should get like a full-on character in Star Wars at some point from that species. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, so that was one of my trivia. So he appears in the. Is it the
Phantom Menace.
Senate scene?
Yeah, in the Senate sequence in Phantom Menace. Yeah, you see them on one of the pods, 3 of them.
Yeah. I mean, again, it was just. And that's the joy of Star Wars, I guess, just including those characters in just a very, very quick moment, was just great. The Dukes of Hazzard did a parody of it called Him Little T. I don't know that, Anton. That's an interesting one. Didn't know that. Ever been to the ride at Universal, Efren?
Yes, I have. Yeah. A long time ago. I don't know if they even still have it there. It was just set in the background. Obviously, you're going in the bike and you're taking off, and that scene right there, basically, that's what the ride.
So the last time I went to Florida, which will be maybe 3 years ago, it was still there at Universal, and I remember excitedly getting me and my mates to go on the ride, and then thinking, man, this hasn't aged particularly well. It's a pretty
outdated.
Yeah, pretty timid, tame kind of.
Well, rides have come a long way since 1980 something, so.
Do you have fleas, James? What's happening here? Have you?
No, I'm pulling a blanket over my feet because I'm not wearing socks or anything, so they're cold. If you must know.
I must.
Nosy bastard.
Wayne, Deadman, I've
seen
E.T. twice when my child was born. It was an ugly. Absolutely. Okay, so E.T. James, you win for the first pick of the movies. Efren, you get to pick next. What any other movies you can think of?
Gosh, I don't know, man. I'm drawing a blank. There's no Batman movies that came out in the 80s, was there?
No. How about a little bit of Sylvester Stallone? First Blood.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
First,
I love that movie.
Yeah, our first introduction to John Rambo.
Yeah.
I remember watching this when I was probably far too young to watch it. Back when, do you remember when action movies were kind of all the rage? Because you had this and you had Commando and you had all those kind of big action heroes. Yeah, Predator at the time.
Yeah.
And this was an amazing movie. I remember the forest scenes when he's setting the traps and things like that, just being blown away as a kid by them. You seen this one, James?
Yeah, it's funny because I saw this. I'd seen the other ones. I think I'd seen the 2008 one first.
There's, I think, 5 movies in total.
The most recent one I saw in cinemas and it was dog shit, like really just horrendously bad. But like I think it's funny when you watch because like I think after this one they are like silly 80s action movies, but this one is quite serious. Like it's about PTSD and the struggle of soldiers coming home and stuff like that. So I was actually surprised by the tone of it.
I remember, again, it was simpler times. I remember he's got a knife in this, and there's a horrible scene where he takes the end of his knife off and he's got a little sewing kit and he sews his arm up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember my dad coming into, I don't know how old I was, just a kid, and my dad had bought us one of those knives. I mean, it was like a crocodile from Dundee knife. It was like, what the hell am I going to do with that, Dad? Obviously, I didn't think at that time. I thought it was great. I had my backpack, took it to school. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, different times. But yeah, just amazing. And, Sly Stallone, incredible career, really. And I know what you're saying, James, that last Rambo film's not the best. But at least it's a send-off to the character. You got to end the character. Do you know what I mean?
I can't even remember if it ends in a send-off.
Yeah, he bites the bullet at the end there.
Does he? I don't even remember that.
Yeah. But you're right. It's not the best. But yeah, it's not a bad film. I'm just going to quickly jump to the chat. Wayne, Sword and the Sorcerer was a wicked film. Yep, released this year. Good movie. And Bethany, nice to see you, Bethany. Thank you very much for subbing. Do appreciate that. Anton, yes, it was a really good movie, but I saw it on TV, edited, and it was pretty good. But then I got to see it on cable, and it's violent. Yeah, it's an incredibly violent movie. I always remember, and it's a film that I've probably not seen for years and years, but I'm sure there's a bit where he like whittles little sticks into sharp sticks on like a swing system, and it hits someone on the foot or something. Just bleh. Yeah. First Blood, awesome Christmas movie. Yep. It's why he became a nurse. It is very early in. Bethany, nice to see James.
It is, isn't it? Isn't it just? Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. 82 was a good year for Spielberg. Schindler's List, The Color Purple released, and he made them into masterpieces. He absolutely did.
Schindler's List.
That was in 82?
92.
Oh, that was that 92,
yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't believe Fuzzy will have getting his facts wrong. Fuzzy, fact check yourself. Is it 82 for Schindler's List?
It definitely wasn't 82. Schindler's List was 90. I'm pretty sure.
Was he not? Does he not mean they were released as books? Released as books and then he made them into masterpieces.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Fair. Apologies. Right.
You're right. I'd like to think he's aiming that at you, James, not me. Yeah,
I think so.
Quite right. Fuzzy.
That's what I get for challenging the Fuzz.
Exactly.
The Fuzz man.
Apparently, the original version of First Blood was about 3.5 hours long and unwatchable. Sly watched it and said, "Cut all my dialogue out." Smart man, despite the obvious brain damage. Yeah. Fuzzy's kicking off. Fuzzy is kicking off. Yeah. It was a hunting knife. Everybody wanted. Yeah, Anton. Like I say, my dad got us one. It was terrifying. Yeah, great movie. Efren. Next movie we're going to talk about. We're going to stick sci-fi. Probably one of the greatest sci-fi movies of I think.
Oh, I know.
Of all time. Well, you're going to think Blade Runner, aren't you?
Fuck yeah, I did think Blade Runner.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Star Trek?
Oh.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Star Trek 2. Wrath of Khan. One of the, arguably the best of the Star Trek movies.
He tasks me.
James, have you seen this one?
I have. I did watch this when I was watching the J.J. Abrams ones. When the first one came out, I think.
Yeah, because J.J. Abrams, his second movie was pretty much a kind of a retelling.
Copy of this, yeah, exactly. With Khan and even the Khan scene, like at the end.
Oh, yeah.
So. Just flips.
He flipped some of the stuff around.
Yeah,
I mean,
Ricardo Montalban's amazing in this movie. I think he's such a good villain.
Just in. I think Wayne's trying to wind us up. Love it when Vader dies in Kirk's arms. Yeah, I mean, this for me is one of the best Star Trek movies of all time. I think, and it freaked me out as a kid. The scene with the space helmets and the things that go into the ears. Do you remember?
Oh yeah. With Chekhov, he got into the yeah.
Freaked us out. We've obviously got this classic scene with the Khan bit, which is Shatner at his best. Look at that little face. And then we get the death of Spock. He got better, but we got the death of Spock at the end, which was just one of the most heartbreaking scenes ever. You guys fans of this movie?
I love it. I mean, I'm glad, I didn't even know this came out in 1982. I was just thinking of the death scene at the end, the needs of the few outweigh, or the needs of the, whatever it was, but
needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, I think, isn't it?
For me, it's the hand on the glass, and it's what's the line? You have been and always will be my friend. It's just...
No, I love the I'll track him around the moons of Nebula and round these maelstrom and down perdition's flames before I give him up. It's just so cool. Such a great villain.
Star Trek at its best for me. Khan is just a superb character. Obviously, this is a sequel to Space Seed, one of the original episodes. But yeah.
It almost seems a shame that they have to make sequels after sequels, because this would have been a fitting ending for Spock,
Oh, yeah.
And even Rambo #1, it would almost feel like they should just stop at #1. It was such a good character, but I know they're out there to make money, but I love this movie.
Great movie. Wayne is saying the best Star Trek film in my eyes. I think I agree, Wayne. I think this is my favorite. I do like the TNG one with the Borg. But I think this is my favorite. Well, got Cliff. Nice to see you, Cliff. Please make sure you check Cliff's channel out. He does a great live show every Saturday. Please do make sure you check that out. Great show. It was on telly the other week. Belter. It certainly is, mate. Spock dies at the end and then returns for a further 6 films. Yay, he got better. And the
Search for Spock is the next movie, isn't it?
It is. They
literally just went right back to. They didn't even let him be dead for a movie or something. Just right back to it.
Yeah. I did like the one when they went back in time. That was a really good one.
With the whales, Voyage Home.
San Francisco. Yep, that was a good one.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. But I think some of them. What's the one where is it Undiscovered Country, where they go searching for God? Yeah, they get a bit ropey. Spot the eyes, everybody cries. Absolutely. Anton, I should leave you as you left her is buried alive inside a dead planet. Yeah. It's just so quotable. Peter, didn't you say star in a film? Peter, didn't you star in a film in 1988? How dare you? James, have you seen Tootsie? Do you understand the reference?
Dennis Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman, yes. To dress up as a woman.
Fuzzy's on. Don't encourage him, Fuzz. I'll always be your friend. Yeah. Live long and prosper. Are we sharing wishes now, Fuzzy? So yeah, another great movie. Budget of 12 million, made 97 million at the box office. Star Trek movies have never really set the world alight in terms of money, but yeah, not bad. Okay, couple of other movies just to mention. Horror, James. I thought we'd chuck some horror in there for you.
Thank you very much.
Poltergeist. Shit the bed. That's probably one of the first movies that proper terrified me.
Classic.
Yep.
But the scariest movie of the time, I would probably say, up to this point. Well, Halloween maybe aside.
The scene that still freaks me out is the eaten chicken and the maggots come out of it.
Yeah. But even just like how ominous it is, like they're here. It's just,
Another great scene was when the tree was trying to eat the boy when he grabbed him. It was a great movie. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a classic movie. It had to do with spirits and all that, But that little girl, like Jane just said, they're here, Great movie. Did they make a sequel to that movie?
Yeah. They made a couple of things. There was a remake then with Sam Rockwell in the mid 2010s.
Okay.
That was okay. It wasn't great.
It wasn't great, but it was okay. Yeah.
Serviceable, I think, for a remake.
It's a classic. It's an absolute classic. We've got Creepshow as well there. Really good, really good. I think I remember more about Creepshow 2, but it's your typical kind of horror anthology. Just a series of a few stories. Really, really cool.
I'm just spotting Adrian Barbeau in the credits there now. That'll tempt me.
Yeah, it's worth watching. There's some good stuff in it. Yeah. And then we've got Halloween 3, which I know you're a fan of.
Yep.
Wayne's fighting.
Wayne, the movie has had a reevaluation in recent years, and people love it now. I have a signed poster of all the cast that I got for the Love of Horror last year. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's really silly and like just an interesting new idea, and I appreciate what it was trying to do at the time.
Yeah.
I just think it's held up.
I think people were upset at the time because it didn't have Michael in it.
Yeah, 100%. Because the original plan was that every Halloween movie would be different, and then they just the producers begged John Carpenter just write a sequel for Michael, so he did Halloween 2. And then they go, okay, now we killed Michael, we'll do the new thing, and then people didn't like it because Michael was in it, so they had to go back to Michael afterwards.
Can't blame them. Blame. Yeah. Chris Bell saying Creepshow was one of the first VHSs his parents got him, probably about in 85, and he was about 7. Yeah, Chris, me as well, mate. But there were either the videos I got were never bought from a HMV, if that even existed back then. It was usually either an X rental video, so you got it in a massive
rental
chunky
copy
thick
at the
case,
top of it
or it was in a very strange cardboard slip-on case kind of thing. So yeah, I don't remember really buying videos at a video shop. Do you know what I mean? It was interesting. Ultra Guys was directed by the same director who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but got into an argument with Steven Spielberg. Interesting. Oh, echo. Couple of others for you. Bit more barbarian action. We've got Arnie as Conan the Barbarian.
Never seen it.
Yeah, since I've seen it. Obviously, they modelled that poster on myself. But again, just since we've had a good barbarian movie, I can't remember the last time I saw a sword and sorcery type.
Yeah, they did a reboot of Conan with Jason Momoa, didn't they? A while back.
I saw that.
Yeah. It's Jason Momoa. This was even before he was Aquaman. I think it was just coming right out of Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I do remember that now, James. Yeah.
And Rose McGowan was the witch woman in it, I think.
Right. Yeah. I remember very little about Conan the Barbarian other than Arnie in a loincloth kind of thing.
Of course you remember that part.
Well, I would, yeah. Dark Crystal, never a movie I particularly liked. What about you guys? Are you Dark Crystal fans?
Never watched it.
Never seen it either?
There was a Netflix show that came later, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I saw it, but I don't remember anything about it that much, so...
I don't remember loving it. Do you know what I mean? And when I think of that kind of movie, I automatically always go to Labyrinth. Much 100%. More than the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, for Jim Henson, dark fantasy films.
Yeah. And then we've got Tron again, a bit of a classic movie. You seen that one, guys?
Yep. Yes.
Watched it when the second one came up.
I really enjoyed the second one. Got panned, but I really enjoyed the second one. I
like the second one too. I don't know why people have a problem with it, and I'm looking forward to the third one, even though it's a Jared Leto movie. We'll see how that goes, but I like the universe. I think it's really cool. Visually very striking as well.
Very cool. We've got a few comments, guys. Just going to jump to them, and then we'll move to a couple more movies before we move on. Chris, Conan was a bit crap in truth, but Tron, absolute fire. I really can't remember much about Conan, to be honest, Chris. I have to go back and see it. Maybe. But Dan loved Tron Legacy. Someone had to. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, Dan. I really enjoyed it. And I thought, at the time there was a lot of grief thrown towards Jeff Bridges and his CGI face. But I thought that worked really well for the concept of the story. He was meant to be a computer generated, what was he called? I can't remember what he's called in it. But I thought it worked really well. Was it LOL or something? No, was that Data? Can't remember. Wayne, Dark Crystal, I went to see it with my mates for the 8th birthday in Marble Arch. Loved it. Can't remember it. Was there not a film called The Barbarian out recently? Never seen it though.
No, it's called Barbarian, and it's not a fantasy movie.
That's the horror one. Yeah,
Barbarian,
horror one.
We were recording a thing earlier and we were talking about it just an hour ago.
I wonder if you mean The Northman, Fuzzy, because again, I've not seen that.
Oh,
one
The
yet.
Northman is fantastic.
The
Northman's
Northman,
great.
yeah.
Movie, yeah. Good Viking fantasy movie.
It's Halloween the 3. The tagline, that's the night.
The night no one came home.
Yeah.
One more day till Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
HMV had stores in the 1920s, so I expect they had VHS, Peter. I probably just never went in them. Wow.
Well, the
I didn't
logo
realize
is the dog with
VHS.
the logo's
Oh,
with
the
dog
gramophone.
with the gramophone, isn't it? So yeah.
Hi, Kenneth. Nice to see you. Hope you're well, bud. Tron Legacy, better soundtrack than film. It has got a banging soundtrack, I have to say.
Daft Punk, man.
The remix album is even better. Movies that were really good. The Dark Crystal originally added its own language and had to be edited. Didn't know that, Anton. That's very interesting. Fuzzy, bloody hell. Right, guys. Couple more movies. Grease 2 came out.
Don't say it 3 times or
One who
shall
appears.
show up.
Grease 2. Nah. I don't think I've ever watched it. Michelle Pfeiffer. We've got Rogue One Photography. Nice to see you. Hope you're well, bud. Now, Aeroplane 2. Now, I have seen Aeroplane 2. You must have seen Aeroplane 2, both of you guys.
Yes, I don't remember, but I remember seeing it. Yeah,
got William Shatner in it, man. Got William.
You did?
Shatner.
Oh my god!
Yeah. The Aeroplane movies, some of my favorites. Them and the Naked Guns. James, you not seen them?
Airplane is also Leslie Nielsen, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen the first one, I think. Or I've seen one of them. Maybe it was the second one. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen at his best. DVH will be reading his book. Yeah. The Thing was awesome. Shatner's at the end, when he plays like he's on a moon base or something. And I just remember it because every time they walk towards the doors, he makes the kind of the Star Trek noise kind of thing. Again, great. You don't get comedies like that anymore. Apparently, Liam Neeson is going to star in a Naked Gun sequel, so that's going to be really interesting. Fuzzy, bad day to stop sniffing glue. That's from Airplane. Love those movies. And then we've got The Thing. Leon saying all-time favorite movie. I saw it for the first time in literally the most perfect conditions. I wasn't old enough to see it at the cinema. I was 15 years old. Watched the rented VHS version on a portable telly with 8 of my mates. You see, that's the memories, isn't it? That's the.
I love that.
Don't call me Shirley. Yeah, that's the memories. That's the kind of stuff you love. Thing. Now, The Thing. Guys, you've both seen The Thing, yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Fan.
Yep.
Fans of that movie?
Oh, heck
It's
yeah.
one of the best horror movies ever made.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people would argue is the best horror movie ever made, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree. For not just phenomenal, like the sense of tension. I think it sets the scene so well. It's so shocking at moments. Like you just have like the bit in the kind of middle part of the movie where they're like doing the resuscitation and it just goes through his chest
hands.
and it turns into a mouth and bites your man's arms off and stuff. It's just so great. And just like that sense of paranoia of you don't know who's turned and who hasn't. And then even the way it leaves it at the end where it's like, the 2 guys are left and it's like, one of us could still be one we don't know. It's just perfect. Like,
Yep. Great movie.
Incredible story, isn't it, Efren? But even, for a movie that's this old, great special effects as well. Great
top
special
tier.
effects.
Like, yeah.
Was he saying hell of a poster? Absolutely. Yeah, I love that movie. Love that universe. Okay, guys, let's talk a little bit about toys before we move on. It was a big year for BMXs and glow bug things. I've never friggin' seen a glow worm thing. You guys, Efren, is that the kind of thing you took yourself in at night with one of them? Keep you
I've
warm
never
in bed?
seen that thing. I never want that thing near me, so no.
James, you got a glow worm?
No,
I mean, that could lead to all kinds of.
I have no use for that. Can't
No.
imagine what anyone would do with it, to be honest.
No. Leon's just saying that the thing holds up perfectly today. I watch it at least twice a year. I
Wow.
great from the VHS revisiting. Yeah, it's a great movie. BMXs, did you guys have bikes when you were younger?
I can't cycle.
What?
I can't cycle a bike.
Why?
I have no balance.
What?
I can't.
Like
I can't go. I can't go more than 2 meters. Literally, like I can't. I fall
Why?
off. I have no balance.
I've lost more respect for you right now.
I can swim though, but I can't ride a bike.
Are you talking about you just float? You just like a buoy?
No, I mean I flap my arms and legs, Efren, and I move forward slowly, but I still move forward.
Was he not surprised?
It doesn't. No. Why? Anyone who knows me, guys, who've been doing this for 3.5 years at this point, you know me well enough.
Oh,
why would that surprise anybody?
So did you have a bike when you were younger than James?
I had an Anakin Skywalker Star Wars pod racer bike, and it had stabilizers, and I never took them off.
Yeah.
I used to. Do you guys know what Papa Wheelie is? When you Papa Wheelie?
Two Papa Wheelie, yeah.
It's when you the back. I used to ride my street. I used to love doing that. My bikes. So
I remember at one point. I can't remember what they were called. Someone in the chat let us know what they were called. But you had like little metal pegs put on your back wheel, so you could have people stand on the bike behind you and kind of hold on. And I remember very clearly having like a circle that went on the spokes of your bike, and mine was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. So when you drove, it spun around.
What we used to do when we used to have bikes, it has like the when each bike had the I forgot what they're called, like the string, not the strings, but the steel, that's connected to the bike. It's hard to pronounce. The spokes. Yes, we used to put like baseball cards with the clothespin on it. It used to make this clicking noise, the click, 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 click down the street. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Chris says, hasn't seen ET, can't ride a bike. What's wrong with you, James? And you're getting grief from your better half. You can't skate either.
Thanks you for sharing that.
Jamie, rollerblading.
I assume she means like skateboarding. I had a skateboard, and I used to. We have a big hill like near where I grew up, and I used to like go to the top of it and just lie down on the skateboard, and I go down singing "I Believe I Can Fly." So that's what I used to do. I used to be able to ice skate, but my last trip I had to get the little penguin because I couldn't go more than like 2 meters, and then eventually my feet just started hurting so much that I just like gave up halfway through. So
I always had visions. I don't know why. It's one of those things that stick in your head of falling over and the skates going over people's fingers.
Yeah. That's another. Oh.
I can just imagine. You ever see that Simpsons when Homer's riding a bike and his pants go down? I can just see that happening again.
Get caught in the spokes at the back.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's my nickname from school.
See, like, if it was culturally acceptable, I would go around on because I'd love to have a bike because I live in kind of a remote area. It'd be handy to get down to the shops and stuff. But I can't go around with adult stabilizers because I just think exactly. No. Someone will rob them off the bike, or I will just get pointed at and laughed at. So I just can't. So I just have to accept it.
People will think you're special, won't they? Chris Bell, bread tags on the spokes, to make the flicking noise. Wind on Friday night. James sat in the basket on his bike like ET.
Yeah.
Oh, James, bless you. Fuzzy, we won't mention the belly button phobia.
Wow.
SM wanted to go ice skating for Christmas, but he didn't want to, or he couldn't.
Not that I didn't want to. Like I offered to go and watch, but I was told
there's a romantic date. You go ice skating, I'll stand and watch. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't think we'd talk for as long about bikes, but James,
I feel like I'm just getting absolute abuse here for no reason. I put myself in a vulnerable position. I admitted a fault of mine, and I've just been dogged since. So thanks, guys. I appreciate your support.
I think the next time I'm in Ireland, we should. Me and SM will teach you how to ride a bike. Oh, it'll be like we'll film it for YouTube, obviously, because but it'll be like me and SM running alongside you, holding on to you as you paddling.
You can put some music. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring me down. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I don't think. I tried. Jeff tried to show me.
Jeff can't because Jeff ride a bike as well.
Yeah, he used to ride bikes all the time.
See, Jeff and SM can teach you how to
Jeff
ride.
used to be a rickshaw. He used to like ride a rickshaw around.
Very cool. Let's move away
from my personal struggles and onto He-Man.
Let's talk He-Man. So this was the year that we got the first wave of the Masters of the Universe figures. Just phenomenal action figures. I've gone back and bought a load of these because I'm a nerd. But just a great run of figures. I can still remember the first one I picked up was on a trip down to London, and it was Stratos, the bird guy in the back. He wasn't my real choice, but he was the only one that had in the shop. Sorry. He was the only one that had in the shop at the time.
I have
Push
a story
on.
about that if you want.
Push us.
If you want me to go into it about the circumstances around me having to learn to tie my laces. I'll be quick. So, Pokemon cards were banned in my school, and I had a load of Pokemon cards. And I had them in my bag, and someone pulled them out of my bag. One of the school mates, and the teacher took them off me, and she said, "You can have them back." Now, this was like 10, 20 packs worth of cards, right? You can have them back when you learn to tie your shoelaces. So I spent 2 months practicing. Eventually got to tie my shoelaces, right? I went back, second hand my Pokemon cards. What Pokemon cards? What are you talking about? I never got my Pokemon cards back. I went to I had my parents write a note and everything. I never got my Pokemon cards back.
James, it's like a therapy session for you. Do you know that?
I
We should
know,
be
I know,
charging
I know.
you. We should be
Yeah.
charging you.
That's it.
Terry's wondering if you can rub your head in the clockwise direction.
With my left hand, as I rub my stomach counterclockwise.
Yeah.
With my right. Just one. Well, on your what's clockwise on your head though? Do you know what I mean? You go that way. Then.
Clockwise. It's still
So,
clockwise.
yeah, because it's
no, it's still
do you want me
clockwise.
to demonstrate right now? Because you can't see my stomach.
Maybe it's like having sign on the show. And I never could ride a bike. Anton's with you. Anton couldn't ride a bike either.
Yeah.
I need to raid my mum's lot for my battle armor, He-Man, and Skeletor. Yeah, really, really superb. Oh, this show is getting derailed with the pity for James.
I don't know you like that, Leon. Where'd you get the gall to say something like that? How dare you?
Anyway, have you guys had any He-Man figures? Are you guys picked up any of these figures?
Never got into it.
Not from this era, but I had the 2003 cartoon series, the kind of run from that. So I had actually the last Christmas present I ever got from my nan was a He-Man sword, and you press the button. I have it in my wardrobe somewhere, I think. But you press the button, like I have the power and stuff. So I liked it from that era. But I love kind of the era of toys where they created a whole lore and all the characters are original. It's not based on anything. It's like literally a toy line that's created its own universe. I think that's really cool, and we don't really have that much anymore. Like,
no, we don't. You're right, and we've got. I'm very excited because we've got a new Masters of the Universe film coming out. We saw some. I've got a video coming out about it, but we saw some set photos of Prince Adam in his pink shirt. I can't wait. I had loads of these. Well, who am I kidding? I've still got loads of these. I've gone back and bought a lot of these figures. Just great toys. Lots of accessories. Very robust. You could chuck them around and bounce them off each other and stuff without worrying about bits falling off and shattering. Just very cool. Just very, very cool. Wayne is saying, never collected He-Man figures when I was a kid. Now I'm a big kid. I've got He-Man Funko Pops. Yeah, absolutely. I quite like that giant Funko Pop of He-Man that I've seen a few times. He-Man figures, they were awesome. Absolutely, Anton, great figures. Very cool. Another line of figures that I got into when I was a youngster were the G.I. Joe. Yeah, the Action Force, we called it over here. Efren, this is a very American thing. Are you a fan of G.I. Joe? Did you ever collect any of these?
No, man. Guys, remember I was like 23 years old at that time, back in '82. So, no, I never even... and obviously I know about He-Man and G.I. Joe, but I just never collected them. I wish now that I had bought some of these toys, like Star Wars toys when it first came out, but it just never dawned on me to get them,
I'm 47 and I still collect toys, Efren. I wouldn't have been worried if you said you collected toys when you were in your 20s. Maybe it wasn't cool back then. But yeah,
too much.
Yeah. I'd say me and James. Well, James probably partied. I didn't party. Didn't
party that much.
Did you have these figures, James? Were you a G.I. Joe man?
No, I was an Action Man kid. So I didn't really. Yeah, Action Man, like with the orange logo. So and the G.I. Joe was never one I really got into. Until like I think my earliest exposure of it was the 2009 movie. And I went to see that, and I was like, "Well, this is kind of interesting." I never watched any of the cartoons. It's just kind of it wasn't really popular here in Ireland. Like I don't think any television shows, TV channels showed it. Like,
I think for me, it wasn't necessarily the cartoon that I got into. It was the way it was like cocaine. It was the way they got into you as a kid was the sticker albums, the Panini sticker albums. So I remember getting the Action Force G.I. Joe sticker album, and that then led to buying the action figures and the toys and the cartoons and all kinds of stuff. And I've still got, I've gone back and picked up Snake Eyes the guy in the black there. Though back here he was called just Commando, which is interesting. But yeah, great figures, great figures.
What's the value of them? You know, are they expensive to buy now, the old ones, or?
So the part of the problem with this figure line, getting slightly technical, if you look at the groin areas, Ephron, it's a really poor design. So the that kind of bit that covers the gentleman area snaps off incredibly easy. Yeah. So you get a lot of figures that are in poor condition because those bits have snapped off and the joints are all broken and stuff. And they all came with tons of accessories. So they can carry a bit of price if you can get a one in good nick that's got all of the accessories. So my Snake Eyes, the black character there, in the kind of the commando outfit, he's got a broken groin, but I've got all of his accessories, and I paid about £70 for him. I think it was.
That's not terrible. Do you know how much one in like original packaging and stuff goes for?
Oh, I'm not sure. I bet they're pricey.
Hundreds.
Yeah, like a lot of these kind of toy lines, there are certain characters that people are absolutely kind of jumping for. Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow being popular characters. Yeah. But again, like the did you'll see on the screen there, back in the day, they did this with a lot of figures where you had to buy all the figures and then mail away for a special edition figure. So they did that with Thundercats. You got a mail away Mumra figure, and those figures retain a bit of value because they were quite hard to get a hold of. Really good stuff. Okay, chaps, let's move on to comic books. Anton's just saying there, I have all the giant figures, still have them, the headquarters and the Cobras. Yeah, the I can't remember the name of it, but one of the kind of the grail toys that people look for is the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. It's a massive play set from the 80s, and it's incredibly pricey, but if you can get it complete, it's a hell of a one to pick up. And Anton saying he had all the comic books and still have them. Yeah, I'm enjoying the new G.I. Joe line actually from Skybound. That's quite good. Comic books, couple of comics just to mention, guys. We had some big hitters. We had Daredevil 181. Ephron, you're a big fan of this character. Do you know why this book was important?
That's the one when Elektra dies, isn't it?
Yep, that's right, mate. That's right. Death of Elektra.
Yeah, great series. You know, great storyline. That during 1982, I loved it. You know, so
incredible run by Frank Miller.
Yeah,
and yeah, Elektra bites the bullet in that issue. Have you got that one, Ephron? Have you got that?
Oh, yes, I definitely have that one. Yeah.
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
It's a nice one. And then we've got Warrior. James, do you know why this book is of significance? It's a UK book. It's a British series.
I have no... I see V for Vendetta.
Yeah, that's it.
The first appearance of V.
Yeah, so this is the first tale of V for Vendetta by Alan Moore. Like I say, it's a UK format book, so it's quite a large printed book, hard to get a hold of in decent condition, and it's got a bit of value to it. So if you ever do come across this one in the wild, it is worth picking up. Later on, we also get Miracle Man, who's a character that's been lost for years, back and forwards with all kinds of legal shenanigans. Yeah. Oh, Fuzzy's just saying you're right, Fuzzy. I didn't pick that one up. Death of Captain Marvel came out in '82 as well. Great Marvel one shot. We also got Wolverine in his first mini series, the incredible 4-parter by Frank Miller. Great little run. First time Wolverine had his own independent book, which was really cool. Again, a nice book to get a hold of if you can get.
I have that one.
You got that one?
Yeah, I do.
Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, bit of a clue on the cover. We've got a few first appearances here. So we've got the first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. Really interesting characters. There was a TV series about them. I never watched it. Any of you guys watch the TV show?
Yeah, it was okay.
First season or something like that. It had some... The Hulu stuff sort of all tied into each other. Yeah. So there was the Runaways as well. And I think Cloak and Dagger appear on that as well. And then she went... I know the actress, because I was only looking her up because she stars in the Heart Eyes movie. Olivia Holt, I think she voiced her in some of the Spider-Man cartoons and stuff, so like she's kind of stuck around as that character. But like I thought the performances were good. They were interesting characters. Just it was so separate to like the main MCU. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, you know, they are interesting characters in the books. They've never really kind of taken off in a big, significant way, but interesting characters.
Yeah.
This central book is a book that I think is chronically undervalued. You can still pick this up for cheap. It's a hard book to get in a high grade because of the black borders around it. But this is a Marvel graphic novel, number 4. And it's the first formal appearance of the New Mutants. And you've got a ton of first appearance characters in there. So you've got Cannonball making his first appearance, Sunspot, Moonstar, Rana, Wolfsbane. So a lot of really big characters who really are heavy hitters in the X-Men. And yet nobody seems to really get overly excited about this book. It's a great story as well. I'm on the hunt for a nice copy. I've got a copy of it, but I want a better copy. This one you got, Efren.
Oh, I loved it when this book first came out because the X-Men had died. Everybody thought they were dead. So, Professor Xavier had to go on, and he just recruited a new class. And I loved it when it first came out. I went, oh my God, this is like the first time they ever really got rid of the, so-called original team. And, everybody had died. And yeah, I love this book. Yeah, I agree with you. It's so undervalued. I go, dang, I thought this book would be worth more, but it's not.
Great art as well. Really cool art. Really cool art. We've then got New Teen Titans issue number 16. A key first appearance. It's the first appearance, gentlemen, of Captain Carrot.
Yeah.
I've never... Bizarre character. Bizarre
kind
character.
Of Rabbit, Bugs Bunny kind of...
Yeah, but he's still sticking around in the DC universe. You still see him from now and then, which is really interesting. We've got a few comments here. Wayne said, I love the New Mutants one. I think I've got that somewhere in the collection. It's a stunning book to have, Wayne. It's lovely. It's a great read, actually. It's a really good read. X-Men versus New Teen Titans in 82. Yeah, great series.
Great. Love it.
Really cool book. Really cool book. Anton's saying that the G.I. Joe Cobra Commander, really great. The new series, it is. It's spot on. Daredevil, Frank Miller, top of his game. Absolutely. Yeah, he did some great stuff, did Frank Miller. We're going to take that away from the guy, Okie dokie, chaps. Quick intermission just whilst we get ready. Little snack or a cup of tea or something. Efren, have you got yourself a snack?
Yes, I do, Peter. I don't know if you guys have ever tried these, but
what's happening right now?
Ooh,
man.
Nice.
They are the best. Peter, Peter, you have some too? Yeah. Oh my God.
What the hell, guys? What's going on?
Frozen, look at this guy. This feels a little
mean-spirited, guys. I'm not gonna lie. What's going on?
No, listen. I just want to say a massive thank you. Efren's very kindly sent me a little pack of biscuits. Arrived today, so thank you, Efren. Just wanted to mention that. Very, very kind of you.
You wanted to rub it in, you mean? Yeah.
I'm gonna what?
You wanted to rub it in.
I did. Yeah. But I've got a load of boxes, so I'm going to keep some for when you come over in probably May, and we'll have some in May. I'm going to put them in the fridge for you because they're nice in the fridge. Nice.
I savored mine, and I went to grab one last week, and my dad had the last one on me.
Swine.
Yeah.
Efren, as you know, the last time poor Efren sent stuff to you, it got lost in your Irish meal.
Did.
So you can share some of these when you come to my house.
That's the only reason I didn't send you any, James, because I didn't want to, I know they were going to get there or not, but they are delicious.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're very nice biscuits.
They are lovely. Nice. They're lovely. They're very tasty.
Yeah.
I have to say.
That's the betrayal. We'll send you some.
I shared mine. And she got some. Yeah.
Telling us some on his front porch. No, we'll keep some for when you come over and me. I did want to mention, guys, just as a quick break, I've started membership on the channel. Not something I've ever really wanted to do before, but a few people have asked us for it, so we have now set that up. If you want,
people said, "I want to pay for this thing I'm getting for free." Did they? Yeah, sure.
They did. Some of them are in the chat. So thank you so much to everybody that has supported. What I can guarantee you is anything that I raise from the memberships will be going back into the channel for the giveaway box and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So thank you. I wanted to give a huge thank you because I only literally mentioned this. Well, I didn't even mention it actually. I think Terry spotted it on one of my videos. So Triple G sexy, Triple G dirty, Triple G bollocks, Triple G Sonic, absolutely. So this was literally only mentioned the other day. I've not formally really announced it until I did my video yesterday, and already we've had a fair few people join. So thank you so much to Claire, Fuzzy, Batman, Dr. Von Hoot, and Deadman, all of which have joined as channel members in the last 24, 48 hours. So really, really do appreciate it, guys. It is massively appreciated. So thank you very much for that. Like I say, any money raised goes back into the giveaway box and the charity night, which me and Andy do once a year. So yeah, it's appreciated. Okay, guys. Television. It was a hell of a year for television as well. Anything jump to mind when we're thinking television? Start with you, James, 82. Anything you can think of?
Can't really think of anything specifically that would.
When were you born again?
In 95. Oh
yeah, so yeah. I mean, there's some classic shows that you will remember as soon as we start talking about them. Mm-hmm. You call them TripleG sexy, TripleG dirty. I don't know what you mean. Efren, anything that comes to mind for TV for you?
Oh gosh, I'm not sure when did Cheers come out. That was one of my favorite shows. I'm not sure what.
Ding ding. We'll have a winner straight off.
Oh really? Oh nice.
82. That's
82. Now, gentlemen, you know what I'm like. You both must know the theme tune for Cheers.
Where everybody knows your name.
Sometimes you wanna go where
Making
everybody knows your name.
Takes every. Come on, sing along. You know it.
I don't even remember it. Where everybody knows your name. Aren't you glad? Something, you know.
It's absolutely different. I friggin' loved this series. This was Friday night TV. What are your memories of Cheers, guys? Because James, I know you weren't around when this came out.
I've seen Cheers though. I used to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it ran for 11 series or over 275 episodes. Fuzzy's kicking off. For fuck's sake, you just read the names of the stickers out. I've missed something, Fuzzy. I do apologize.
So he posted the stickers that you give. You must have put names down for them.
Right.
And that's what the names are. So GG Sonic is the name you gave for that sticker when you entered it in, I assume, is what you're saying.
Oh, I see. Oh, so it's not sure. Do you mean the the
member exclusive stickers?
Yeah, the icons. They haven't come up, Fuzzy. I don't know why. Oh, I don't know. We'll have to have a look into that. Because on my screen, Fuzzy, it just says.
Oh, I was wondering because I was thinking nobody's posted any of those yet.
Yeah.
So maybe you posted them and we just seeing it as the you are the name of the thing instead of the actual image. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
What are you talking about, man?
We've lost Efren.
He's charging for people to put up images on his.
Yeah. So they've come up on Fuzzy's screen. Maybe it's where you don't see them because we're in StreamYard.
I'm gonna verify that now.
Right. Got you, Fuzzy. Got you. So we're not seeing them, Fuzzy. All that comes up on my screen is the description, not the actual icon.
Yeah, it does. So they are literally, when you type these in, you call them sexy Sonic. Yeah. That was just.
So Chris Bill and Wayne can see them.
Yeah.
Great. They are sexy. They are very, very sexy. Okay, so they don't come up on my chat. I got you, Fuzzy. I'm with you now, mate. I am with you now.
That's where I would have assumed they would just come through as the pictures, but I guess StreamYard can't process them or something here.
Anyway, back to Cheers. So this was Friday night viewing for us. Launched the career of Woody Harrelson, and of course we got a spin-off series, which was
Frasier.
One of the most popular series that came out. This was Frasier.
Yeah, I'm more of a Frasier fan, to be honest.
Well, I think I am as well. I mean, I did love Cheers, mate. I did love Cheers.
See the blues are calling, toss salad and scrambled eggs.
Have you watched the sequel? The one with
No. I don't know if I like it. So many are gone from it, Nigel's not even in it, is he?
I've not seen it. All I know is that is it Nicholas Lyndhurst? Can't remember his name, from Only Fools and Horses. He's in it.
Right.
Is it Nicholas Lyndhurst?
Rodney. Is it Rodney here?
Yeah.
Do you remember the last scene of Cheers? Who came out at the very end?
No.
Brandon Tartikoff, who was the head honcho at NBC at the time, and he was the last guest trying to get in, And then, Ted Danson says, "Sorry, we're closed." That was like the head honcho at NBC at the time.
Right.
I love this show when it came out. Just the jokes from Carla, just and then Norm. Gosh, I wanted to go to a bar like that.
What was the other guy? Was it Cliff? The other guy,
Cliff and Coach. So innocent. And I loved it. Yeah, I never understood why Shelley Long left that show.
Yeah,
you would have to drag me away if I was on a TV show like that. Man, it was so popular.
And Ted Danson's still doing a lot of good stuff. He still does a lot of good shows, doesn't he?
Yep. The Good Place. You ever see The Good Place?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Phenomenal in that show. He's great. One of the main characters.
Phenomenal cast. And Fuzzy's just confirming, yes, the spin-off The Praise has been cancelled.
It's been happening a lot lately. These kind of old sitcoms getting revived, and I think Roseanne worked initially. And then she went on her tirade, and that went shitways. And then ever since, they tried to do that '90s show, didn't work.
No, they have the Connors now because Roseanne became the Connors.
Yeah, but is that still running, or is that
still running? Yeah.
Still running? Is it okay?
It's gonna be his last season coming up.
Yeah,
I loved Roseanne back in the day, but she's crackerjack now, isn't she? She's quite Fuzzy's just saying that Ted Danson and Woody have a podcast.
That sounds
together.
amazing. I have that. Listen to that.
I'd have to check that out. Anton saying Doctor Who celebrating an anniversary that year. I'm not sure, Anton. I don't know. He probably was because he gets a lot of them. So I'm not really sure. Shelley Long left because she thought she was too big for the series, and that worked out for her. Yeah. So yeah, great series. Really, really enjoyed that one. Wanted to just briefly touch on this. We did get a series of The Incredible Hulk. Ran for one season, 13 episodes, and it was quite close to the comic book series. Ran alongside Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I can't remember this at all. Either of you guys familiar with it?
I don't remember this happening.
No, it introduced She-Hulk in a later episode, which was apparently very, very good. A well-done version of She-Hulk. Okay. Like I say, stuck quite closely to the comic books, apparently. Yeah. I just can't remember it at all, I have to say. It's not one that's on my...
There was an 80s version of this.
Yeah. But yeah, interesting. Now, a show that I do remember and absolutely loved, good old Michael Knight Rider was... I mean, look at the Hoff. That's a sexy, sexy man, isn't it? Look at those eyes. Just stunning. I loved Knight Rider back in the day. Was one of my favourite shows. I mean, it's bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Each episode's pretty much exactly the same. But it was a bit like the A-Team. Do you know what I mean? It was one of those shows that you just watched and you loved. You guys familiar with Knight Rider? You watch it?
I've seen clips. I've never actually watched a full episode of it. I know the theme song.
To be honest, James, I think if you were to go back and try and watch an episode now, you might struggle. I don't think it'll have aged. Efren, what about yourself? You see Knight Rider?
Never saw it. Never interested me. I thought it was just, I don't know. I just never got into it at all. Never seen an episode,
I mean, it was back in the day. I've got a video coming out about it. Back in the day when technology seemed to rule TV in terms of, we had Knight Rider, which was a talking car. We had Street Hawk, which was the video coming out this weekend. A super powered motorbike. We had Airwolf. You must have watched Airwolf.
Nope.
Oh, that's the best theme tune ever. But Airwolf's basically a helicopter.
Sing it there.
It's got no words, but the head goes like this when I do it. That for years, that was the tune on my mobile phone. Just loved it, absolutely loved it. But Knight Rider ran for 4 seasons, 90 episodes. Was so popular. I mean, it made his career really. 3 movies based on it for TV movies, cunningly called Knight Rider 2000. And then the next movie was called Knight Rider 2010. So there was lots of thought put into them, obviously. We've got to follow on to that, reboot Knight Rider. We had Team Knight Rider, and then we had a reboot Knight Rider in 2008. So it's a property that's really kind of continued on. Fond memories. The car was called Kit, and I noticed Fuzzy has put it in the chat. I always thought Kit was some fancy abbreviation. but it literally stands for Night Industries 2000. It's not very exciting. I thought it was some kind of code word, but the car talked to him and it had special boosters, and it was just, I loved it.
It is funny that, like, the car was like futuristic back in the 80s, but it's not that impressive now. You couldn't really make this now because it's not that impressive anymore, like a car with an AI in it. It's just like, all right.
It jumped, Jake. I mean, I'm agreeing with Chris here. I feel like James is just trying to be inflammatory. It was a car. It was a car that had boosters and it could like jump over stuff. Do you know what I mean? And that happened. That helped in all kinds of ways. Every episode, the car could jump on stuff. You know what I mean?
But probably didn't because they didn't want to pay for it to jump in there.
Same scene.
It's the same shot of the car jumping over, and they just insert a new thing every time. Okay.
Knight Rider was so camp when camp was king. It absolutely was. Principal Fenny from Boy Meets World did Kit's voice. Wow.
Yeah, I think the actor's name was William Daniels, I believe.
Very cool. Wayne saying that Airwolf is an absolute classic. Loved it. And the episode with the evil twin was a masterpiece. Yeah, I love that. Hop with a mustache. Yeah,
so
that was literally it.
Was it like, how sci-fi was it though? Did it get into, was that clone? Was there clone stuff, or was it always just like a detective thing?
It was just a detective thing. It was just.
Okay. So what's the evil twin in it then?
Oh, I mean, it's years since I've seen it, but the episode was basically Hasselhoff wearing a tash, and it was explained away as it was some kind of evil twin version. And I think Fuzzy reminders, did he have an evil version of Kit as well?
I would think he would.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, just Blue Thunder was another good one. That was that the speedboat one? Tell you, every vehicle had its own show. The actor played Cliff. There was a lot of Pixar movies. It was in Empire Strikes Back as well.
I remember that.
Yeah. The remake didn't last a season. That's right, Terry. It binned. And Fuzzy, I'd still have this over an ugly Tesla. Yeah. Goliath the truck. What was Goliath? I don't remember that one. I mean, was that the truck that was
an ex-cop?
Ah, right. He had a twin. He was evil. That's it. That's as complicated.
That just presents more questions then.
That's his James. This is 80s TV. That's all you needed to know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You switch on. Oh, look, this episode, Hasselhoff's wearing a tash. Hang on, he's a twin. Oh, he's evil. There's Kit jumping over a box. Done. That's the episode finished. Do you know what I mean? What more did you need?
Did the evil Kit at least have like a blue light on it or something like that to tell it's a different car?
Car wasn't it. Car wasn't it. The evil car. Okay. Orange swishy light. Ah, right. Instead of the red swishy light. Oh, Blue Thunder was a helicopter as well. This is so many different. All of these, by the way, are coming to my channel because we'll be doing pop culture playback on all of these. Blue Thunder's one I'm not familiar with, so I'll look forward to getting into that one. That'll be interesting. Knight Rider, a shadowy world where a man does not exist. Knight Rider and Edward. I don't think I've heard of that one either, Anton. It was a way of Hasselhoff getting paid twice. Yeah. So yeah, great series back in the day. Probably doesn't stack up now, but other good series I just wanted to touch on, guys. This was the year we got the very first season of Blackadder. Ephraim, are you familiar at all with Blackadder?
Never heard of it. Is that the guy who he's been in other movies since then? Yes.
Ron Atkinson. He's in the Scooby-Doo movie. And
never seen it though.
Yeah. No. It's fair to say the first season of Blackadder I don't think was particularly good. I didn't particularly enjoy it. But as the seasons go on, it gets better and better and better. Ephraim, you love historical stuff. It's well worth watching the last season of Blackadder, which is Blackadder Goes Forth, set during the war. It's a comedy, so it is very, very funny. But the last scene in the series is just one of the most heartbreaking scenes because it's basically all the characters you loved over the season going over the edge to fight, and it's just perfectly done. So yeah, well worth checking out. Blackadder Goes Forth, not Blackadder Go the first season because it's a bit rough. Mysterious Cities of Gold. Either of you guys familiar with that?
You brought this up on a show in the last couple of months, and I'd never heard of it before that.
It's a one I need to go back and watch because this came out in 82. I've got very vague recollections of it. It had a stunning theme tune again, as all the 80s cartoons did. And it had a giant golden falcon. But I can't remember much else about it. So it's a one that I probably do need to go and check out at some point. Wayne saying one of his favourite cartoons. Chris Bell, Blackadder 1 was tripe. It was. And Rob Sider and Malcolm McDowell were in it. In what, mate? In Blackadder? Can't remember that, mate. Fuzzy can't remember Cities of Gold at all. Cities of Gold lasted from me being 4 to 42, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it went on for just, it's one of these cartoons that feels like it just never, ever ended. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even sure that I saw the end. It was this and Dog Tanyan and the Musker Hounds. Either of you guys watch Dog Tanyan?
I'm familiar with that one, yeah.
All for one, Musker. I love that one as well. Fuzzy is saying people always mention the theme tune, but I listened and it still meant nothing to us. Yeah, I probably at some point want to go back and watch an episode just to kind of remind myself. Right, got you.
Wouldn't mind doing we could do I'll be right. I could do this all day on it.
Yeah, well, maybe do one on a few. We'll do an episode on classic cartoons and kind of watch a few of them. Got you, mate. Got you. Now, the chap at the end. Do any of you guys recognize him?
Not whatsoever.
No,
James. Anybody in the chat recognize this gentleman?
Is it a British show or a United States?
It's a British show, but it's horrendous, and you probably wouldn't get away with it now because it's incredibly racist. Chris Bell's on the ball. It's a series called Allo Allo, which is during the war, basically, and it's about a French cafe that are hiding some English.
Yes, I know this show. I've seen bits of this. So
this character is Heflick of the Gestapo, and it's like proper old school British comedy, you know.
Wildly offensive.
Yeah. Wildly offensive.
Classic British.
Classic British. Wildly offensive.
Yeah.
So much sexual innuendo and stuff, racial stereotypes and all that kind of stuff. But this was the stuff you loved back when you were my age in the 80s. Do you know what I mean? It was great stuff. So yeah. God, see, Chris, you're so the downed British pilots had to pretend that they were French every time the Gestapo came. So that's the kind of the phrasing they would use, because the pretend that French was horrifically stereotypical. You know, it was like, "Good morning, I was pissing by the door," and stuff like that. Instead of, it was just stupid stuff like that. She was a bit of all right, if I remember. Yeah. I'll say this only once. Yeah, great series. I remember loving that back in the day. Games, James. Any game news that you can remember?
I believe the most significant thing of 1982 coming out games, the Commodore 64 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Commodore 64 we had. We also had from the Argos catalog, Atari was incredibly popular back then. But you're right, PCs, personal computers were pretty much the Spectrums and the Commodore 64. Commodore 16 plus one, I think it was, came before that. We didn't really have great big titans like Nintendos and stuff like that really hitting the mainframe yet. We did have some interesting games, but there's the Spectrum there and your Commodore 64, as you mentioned, James. I had a Commodore 16. I don't think I ever had a 64, but I definitely didn't have a Spectrum. Either of you guys ever owned any of these?
I had the Atari one. I looked at the first picture you showed. I had that one and I loved it. I was into video games back then, but it just never progressed, like in the 2000s and 90s. But yeah, that first game console, I had that one. I wish I still had it too. I used to love putting the cartridges in there and playing those games.
Yeah,
it was the most simplest game, but I used to love playing just Pong.
Pong, yeah, great.
It was a simple game, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that brought back a lot of memories. I had no idea it came out that year, 82. Yeah.
Fuzzy's dropping the fact bombs again. Electronic Arts was founded in 82. That's incredible. I didn't realize that.
Titan of the industry now.
Yeah. Wayne saying he had a Spectrum. That was the thing. You either had a Spectrum or a Commodore 64 normally. Ron Atkinson from Mr. Bean and from Blackadder, absolutely, Anton. Fuzzy, we had a Commodore and a Spectrum. You must have been rich, Fuzzy. You must have been in the money, mate. You must have been. And Chris had an Acorn Electron.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I've never had one of those. Never had one of those. Games back then. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
It's notoriously difficult. I think everything back then was so difficult because it only, if you like went through the entire game without dying, it would last 40 minutes, if even. So the purpose is that it's so hard that you have to just play over and over and over again to get past, you know, certain bits to basically get one full, like, perfect playthrough.
Yeah, because I don't remember back then, unless I'm just misremembering, James. I don't remember a lot of the games that I played having like a save function. Do you know what I mean? It was, you had your 3 lives and you just died.
It would usually, if there was any kind of function, it would be, there'd be passwords. So like when you get to a new level, it'll say the password for it, and if you have to write it down. But I remember I used to not, because like on Game Boy, I think some games had that, and I used to just not write it down because I'd be like, I'll be fine, and then my Game Boy dies, and then I have to start the game again. Just happen all the time. Like, it's so annoying. Yeah.
So this is the kind of stuff that it would be interesting forward to do a little short video or something, or go back and play some of these games just to see what it's like.
Dog shit.
Yeah, because it looks. I have to say, it looked. I'm trying to work out what you would even do. You know what I mean?
Like, you fast forward 4 years to the NES. Like, I had an NES Classic I bought, like, which is like a new mini one that just had 20 games installed, and I played with it for an hour, I think, and I just never touched it again because I was like, these are rough, and that's like a generation or two ahead of us, you know. So like, wouldn't be.
Wayne saying, "Who remembers the Texas?" I don't remember that at all. Wayne, don't remember that system at all. Fuzzy, I can still hear the games loading. Yeah, like a dang, dang. Yeah, horrendous. I remember the Spectrum loading a cassette tape with it sometimes. Yeah, Anton, that was Nickelodeon here in the States. Okay, yeah, just great. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure back at the day these were like
and the most amazing thing you've ever seen, I would imagine. Yeah, you know, going from Pong to like color and. You know, characters and stuff. Yeah, I'd imagine it'd be
we did get Donkey Kong on the home computer system. We also got Pac-Man and Space Invaders.
Donkey Kong was 1982.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
it was out as an arcade before that, but then we got the home computer.
Yeah, so the first experience of Mario.
Yeah, well, that's Mario there on screen. I remember playing Space Invaders. And Pac-Man's a classic. Pac-Man's still there. I mean, when you came up to see me not so long ago, James, we played
it was like a 4-player versus Pac-Man thing, which was really fun. Like, we actually spent most of our time at the arcade there on that one. So.
Do you remember any of these, Efren? Did you play any of these?
I remember them all. I used to love playing all of them. Yeah, you know, especially Space Invaders at the bottom. I used to love that game.
Yeah, it's classic. Yeah. Space Invaders though.
Wayne's hitting my memory here as well. Buying a computer magazine and making a game from it took days. You know, it was one that was wrong. It wouldn't work. So you got the text in the magazines that you could program some of your games into.
Really? Was that a thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Had like the coding, as it were. But also some of the older video game magazines. You probably remember this, James, but you used to get CDs with demos and first levels.
Demo discs. Yeah, I have a few still from when I was a kid. Yeah, they're kind of collectible now. Like,
piracy was so easy. They were the days. Yeah. I remember trying to do BASIC for days and getting Sinex errors. Yeah. I remember that as well. God, how we've moved on. But this did remind us, because looking at this slide, and it was saying this is when we transferred, you know, Donkey Kong from the arcade to an arcade machine, to a game machine. I miss the old style arcades. I know we've been to one not so long ago, James. That's a specialist place where you pay and you get your 2 hours worth or whatever. But these were everywhere. I mean, Efren, the arcades in the States were big business, really, weren't they? Everywhere you looked.
Yeah, it was loads of fun. I used to love going to arcade games. The sit-down ones, those table ones, I wanted one of those at my home for the long. I never got one, obviously, but I used to love going to arcade and just playing the games. You know, it was, you know, it was like the dawn of, you know, for me at least, you know, of computer games. You know, inch by inch, they were just getting better and better. You know? I used to just love it.
Yeah. Was the arcade scene relevant in Ireland, James? Did you guys have
Oh, yeah,
arcades?
there's plenty of them around, and like particularly you go down to like the seaside or something like that. There'd always be arcades. Still is a lot of places now. But like now, so we used to, it literally just shut down a couple months ago. But we had a bar arcade called Token. That used to be one of my favorite spots to go to, just because like you pay 20 quid for 30 tokens or something like that in the last year thing there, and have a few pints. But we were in England. There's a chain of bars there called NQ64, which had like a lot more options. I really liked the decor, and there was even like consoles hooked up to televisions and stuff. So I like the arcade aesthetic, but I think on its own, this is just because I'm like a bit younger and used to kind of modern games. That like I would never spend more than an hour in an arcade. Probably an arcade bar you could, because you just have pints and you have fun, But,
but I guess back then, we didn't have as many video games at home. You know what I mean? So this was the only time you really got to play.
They were more powerful as well. Like, if you had Mortal Kombat on a console versus the arcade version is going to be faster and look better and everything,
Frogger. I remember Frogger, Deadman and Chris. Yeah, great game. Yeah, happy days at the arcades, I have to say. Right, chaps, we're going to start rounding things up with a little bit of food conversation. I'm going to test you tonight. I'm going to put some things on screen and just see if you know what we're talking about. What do you think this is?
The world's longest sub or something, is it?
Nearly.
World record. World's longest piece of
It is breaking a world record. Efren, any ideas?
I thought it was like a sub 2. The pictures can't really see the picture, but they're putting some stuff on there, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Selins Grove. Is that whereabouts is that? Anybody know where that is? Selins Grove in States, I think. Fuzzy's going sausage roll. It's not sausage roll, Fuzzy. This oh God, Wayne. My life. Longest hot dog.
No.
This is in fact.
Wait a minute. Sorry, is it like a banana or like a
Efren, you know your food. This is at the time in '82 the world's longest record-breaking banana split.
Glad I said it.
Yeah. So this was done for raising funds for a local college. Okay. You basically paid some money and you got a foot of the banana split. You got a pack to build the area, and then you had to eat it at the end. So there was no food wasted.
Yeah.
2 tons of bananas used. Jeez. 800 gallons of ice cream.
Jesus.
How long do you think it was?
120 meters.
I'm working in feet, in miles.
I don't know. Is it multiple miles? It's not multiple miles long, is it?
It's 1.5 miles long.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, 1.5 miles of banana split.
Dang.
Bloody big banana. I don't believe it. It was King Kong's. Yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, I am partial to a banana split. Banana split's kind of gone out of fashion. It's not a dessert I have that much anymore.
I when I'm like abroad, I always try and find a place that has them. Sometimes you get them in Spain or whatever.
Yeah.
The restaurants will do them.
Yeah. I mean, that record's been demolished since. I think when I had a quick look, there was one in the Guinness Book Records from the early 90s, which was 4.5 miles long.
Wow.
4.5 miles of banana split. Can you believe it? Mental. Any idea what this might be about?
It's about food, right?
Tomato.
Yes, it's food.
Tomato. Ketchup.
Nah.
Is this the year it came out, or just some kind of food that they were making?
So in '82, it was a kind of a news item that happened regarding tomatoes.
Did they start to die? Giant tomato?
Cherry bombs? No.
First genetically modified crop. So this was the first introduction to GM foods. It was a tomato. It wasn't edible at that point, but this was the first time. Yep, and Wayne's right. This is a scene from Killer Tomatoes. But yeah, it was the first time we started to fanny on with genetically modified crops.
Interesting.
I don't know, just grew it from scratch, I believe. I don't know how they genetically modified it. But yeah, nice, tasty. Any idea what big product came out in 82 that's revolutionized soft drinks?
Dr. Pepper?
I love the way you say that. Like this is a
No,
massive
a
quiz.
pause.
It's the $1 million question, James. Dr.
Dr.
Pepper?
No,
No,
because Coke
that's
is from the
Sugar-free sodas?
Diet Coke?
Diet Coke. So
Diet
this
Coke.
is Diet Coke. So before Coca-Cola Company had a diet drink before that called Tab, which I've never
I've heard of that.
before.
Yeah, Tab.
Heard of that.
Yeah. But this was the year they introduced Diet Coke. The first kind of time Coca-Cola had branded something else other than Coke, which obviously went crazy. It's gone mental. It's one of the most popular drinks. It is the most popular drink in the world. Just roughly in pounds. So this includes cans and bottles, but also syrups for bars and things like that. In dollars, sorry. How much do you think we sell per day of Diet Coke?
In how much money worth it? They
In
make
dollars,
in-
yeah.
Oh, I would think like $80 million or something like that a day.
Okay. Efren?
Per day all over the world?
Per
Over the
day,
world.
yeah.
Of Diet Coke?
Yeah.
Just
Including the
Diet Coke.
syrups.
Just Diet
Yeah,
Coke.
including the syrups and stuff.
How much? It's so much. So how much people buy per day?
In monetary value, yeah.
I don't know. 20 million.
Apparently, it's $2.2 billion worth
Per day.
Per
of
day?
Diet Coke is
Jesus
sold.
Christ!
Yeah.
Just Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Gosh.
Insane. I remember it making a comeback, Fuzzy. I don't think I ever tried it. Yeah. It's obscene, isn't it? Obscene. It's always my go-to, mind. I have to say, I always go for Diet Coke rather than I would never have full fat Coke.
So
these
I
days.
used to hate Diet or Coke Zero, and I only like normal Coke, and I only like Pepsi Max. I didn't like regular Pepsi or Diet Pepsi. I have lately. I think it was you actually that you turned me on to get a Coke Zero, and I'd be like, I'll get a Coke Zero as well. And now I just drink Coke Zero. I don't mind. I don't drink normal Coke anymore.
Does it taste the same as regular Coke? Coke Zero? Or is it
It's a little different, but it's like it does the job. I find.
I can't drink normal Coke now because it leaves like a weird coat on me.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? It's like you feel bad after it.
Right, guys. Last slide of this kind of show, and I have to say, this is probably the best story I think I've ever covered or discovered on this channel. This is a true event that happened in 82. Larry the Lobster. Do you know anything about Larry the Lobster?
I've heard of Larry the Lobster. I don't know why I have though.
Never heard of
Efren?
it. Never heard of it.
So this is true. I'm not making this shit up. This is Larry the Lobster, who featured on an episode of Saturday Night Live in 82.
Oh, wow.
Where they did a telephone vote-in, the first time that they've really done a telephone vote-in, and it almost broke the phone exchange. AT&T went into meltdown because of it. And viewers were asked to ring in and vote via Eddie Murphy to save Larry or kill Larry, and they were going to boil him live on screen.
Wow.
So a bit like Robin in the Batman books. People were asked to vote whether they wanted to save Larry or kill Larry, and luckily, I guess you'd argue, overwhelmingly they voted to save Larry.
I remember this now.
I mean, if they voted to kill him, do you think they would have actually done it? I mean, I'm seeing live on screen, it's a friggin' lobster. Do you know what I mean? But could you imagine that happening now? The outrage that we'll get.
Yeah, you'd only get away with this in the 80s. But also just like it's like they're holding, because I assume they get some better, like it would have cost money or something, like somehow they benefited from the people that phoned in. So like they basically just held, do you want this dog to die? Do you want this thing to die? You better call us. You know, you're basically holding the fucking thing hostage like at that point.
But apparently, like I say, it was one of the first times they did one of these call-in things, and I think it's AT&T went in a meltdown. That's just because they hadn't talked to them beforehand, so the phone exchange went absolutely wild. What he's saying, still much better than Love Island. They should do the same. They should bring it on to Love Island. You know, they should chuck an electric heater in the pool or something and vote to save your favorite. Yeah, it's But yeah, just incredible. The good old days. Absolutely the good old days. Anyway, chaps, that's our run through of 1982. Loads and loads of really interesting, good stuff that happened that year. We need to pick another year. So in the chat, someone drop us some ideas for dates. First one that comes up is the date we are going to do for the next year. So someone stick it in the chat.
I'd like an hour like 2000, 2008, 2009, that kind of era would be nice.
1988. 1988 is the year Wayne has selected. Okay, we've not done 88. No,
it'd be nice to do one I was alive for. You know what I mean? When I actually physically experienced myself.
No. Wayne has selected 88.
We've done two 80s ones already, though. Doing another
Stop 80s. Your whining, Mr. Keegan. We're going for 88. We can do lots of it.
I know lots of cool stuff happened in 88.
2024. Let's get nostalgic. Yeah. COVID, yeah, that'll be fun, won't it? No, we're going to do 88 next, and then we'll move on from that. So thank you very much to everybody that's been watching tonight. Really do appreciate it. Just a few things to mention. Myself and Efren interviewed Anthony Cleveland and Alex Cormack last night. Please do check out that live show where we talked about Buried Long Ago, which is an amazing comic book coming out soon. We're very kindly sent some preview copies of the first 3 issues we've got now. So thank you to the guys for sending that book based on a true life serial killer. So really interesting read. Myself and James filmed our honest review of Captain America Brave New World. Please check that out. There's some interesting stuff in the movie. I'm not sure I can recommend that you rush out to watch it at the cinema, but it is well worth it.
More like Captain America, am I right?
Hey.
I've got Comic Book Clunkers. This one's died on its arse. This isn't getting many views, but this is all about Elseworlds tales. So books that have got some interesting takes in it, like Superman fighting twin clones of Hitler, or an evil Batman fighting Catwoman, Guardian of Gotham. So please do check that out. And then on Friday, we've got Street Hawk pop culture playback coming. So all about the intelligent motorcycle that jumps over stuff, James. Jumps over stuff. It's very different to Airwolf,
because that flies over stuff. And
Knight Rider
jumps over stuff, but in the car.
Knight Rider jumps over stuff, but it jumps over stuff on 4 wheels. Street Hawk jumps over stuff on 2 wheels. In a wheel, it does wheelies.
It's completely different.
It does wheelies. It's completely different. So yeah, that's coming out on Friday. If you're a member, you've already got access to that video, so check that out beforehand. Our next live show, chaps, on this channel is going to be next Tuesday, Comics and Toys, where I'll be joined again by Andy and Phil, looking at the different things that we've picked up over the last few months. James, what have we got coming up over on One Good Scare?
We will, I promise, have our Dog Soldiers video up this week. I'm nearly done. We have a review of Wolfman up on the channel right now, a spoiler review for that, and Nosferatu. And we will be live on Friday to talk about the horror news of the last couple of weeks. So that should be nice. Should be good fun. I did get to see The Monkey yesterday, a preview of that. So I'll talk a little non-spoiler about that as well. So
yeah, I'm going to hopefully see that one this weekend, because I love the trailers for that.
Yeah,
love the trailers.
It's interesting, really interesting.
Efren, have we gotten up on comics this weekend?
Hopefully we're going to do one Sunday with my cousin Momo Comics, up on comics. I got to talk to him, see if he wants to do it. And I got to get into doing more shorts. I've been slacking on shorts for a couple months now. And I really, they're only a minute long. So, but they take us more than a minute to do. But I'm trying to do more shorts and stuff like that. I'm just having a good time whenever I can be on YouTube with you guys too. So either my channel or Peter's channel.
Good stuff. Always a pleasure. Thank you guys for doing this. Really enjoyed it tonight. Huge thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys have been great as usual, keeping the chat going. We really do honestly appreciate all of your support. So thank you very much for that. With that, that's your whack. We'll catch you all next time. See you later.
The curtain's closed. It's time to go. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Check out my channel for more geeky fun, and hit like, subscribe before you run. All that remains is all thanks to you, from Triple G and his YouTube crew. We really do hope you come on back, but for now, that's your whack. Yeah, that's your whack.